So this video is a little bit personal to me. I'm actually not reading off of a script, which is kind of weird. It's the first unscripted video I've made in quite a while. My channel has been growing a little bit. I enjoy making my scripted videos, even though I do understand sometimes the scripted videos don't lead to a lot of personal interaction between subscribers. If you guys follow me on social media, Twitter and now recently Facebook, where I'm trying to be a little bit more interactive, that's a little bit more of a personal way where you can engage with me, the person. Sometimes it's really hard because Late Night Gaming, my YouTube channel, in fact, part of the reason I named it Late Night Gaming was because the original vision was going to be kind of like an IGN thing, where it wasn't just one person, it was going to be a whole host of people, and people just started referring to me, to Ross, as Late Night Gaming, and so now, hey, that's who I am, that's my name, Late Night Gaming, no spaces, but it's kind of interesting. My YouTube channel, I never really had a plan or a vision for it. It just kind of accidentally kept growing. I took drama class when I was in middle school, and I was super into acting, theater, plays, all sorts of stuff. I also did not have the best social skills when I was younger. In fact, I would say I probably would have been horribly annoyed with myself if I knew me when I was younger. When I was a kid, I had very bad social skills. I sometimes talked too much, sometimes I talked too little, and I was just generally a very annoying prick. So when I was bullied a lot as a kid, I don't exactly blame my bullies because I probably would have had the same ill will towards myself. But unfortunately, a lot of that bullying led up to a moment in 8th grade for me where during Nativity, which is actually, full disclosure, I am Russian Orthodox Christian. During Nativity, we were having a party. And Nativity is Christmas, basically, for Russian Orthodox people. It's celebrated on January 7th, which is kind of weird, but on January 7th, my family was having a nativity party. We had friends from our church, friends from my school, well, the few friends I had, over. And during this party, I was not fitting in very well. Even when I was around my own peers, it just was not working. Things had already been kind of building up. Deep down inside, I felt this personal kind of like, obviously, I believe that we're all here on Earth for a reason, right? Like, even outside of religious reasons, I do believe that the concept of life is really kind of special. That's weird, right? It separates us from, like, a rock outside. Like, the fact that we can form our own thoughts, that we're conscious of our surroundings, that we can formulate plans and strategies. Like, life is really special to me. But I was feeling kind of like maybe I was an exception. Obviously, I do think that people need to get off the ground early, and that everyone should have a chance, but maybe for me personally, I was one of the rare exceptions where I was just a mistake. My social skills weren't good enough to maintain friendships. I was honestly too obnoxious. I didn't feel that I was very talented. I loved drama and stuff, but drama's so lame, and I was bullied because of it a lot. So obviously there's nothing you can do there, which is kind of silly, you know, because theater, movies, and stuff like that's some of the biggest aspects of the entertainment industry as a whole. You know, movies, actors, like that usually draws in the biggest crowds, even more than like written literature. But I felt kind of like maybe I was a mistake, and that I was not really supposed to live quite as long as I did. And on that Christmas, I actually tried to kill myself in front of my friends, which is very dark to say out loud, and also very, very, very overly dramatic. But it happened, and I was hospitalized, and in that hospital, I was diagnosed with ADHD, as well as a couple of other things, and kind of it put into context a lot of my behavioral problems and a lot of the insecurities and stuff that I felt about myself. Yeah, there was a couple things wrong with me that were not working correctly, and it was kind of nice to have a definitive answer of, okay, what exactly was wrong? And in this hospital, I worked towards getting better. I like to think I became a much stronger person. And then, basically, my parents, because they're fantastic. I actually really love my parents. It's kind of sad when a lot of people don't have strong relationships with their parents, but I do understand it has to go both ways. If you're a really good kid and you have shitty parents, then it is definitely not your fault if you don't have a good relationship with them. Fortunately, I had a strong relationship that did go both ways. My parents loved me, I loved them. But back to the point, my parents, because they're cool, they actually put me into a new school, kind of gave me a fresh start, and at first, I was kind of hesitant, because I felt like, oh, that's shitty. Like, no, I want to go see my friends. I want them to see how I changed. But no, it was good that it happened. And in this fresh start, where nobody knew me, and I was able to present myself a lot more maturely, a lot differently, because of all the things that I learned, I was doing okay in this new school. I really liked it. People liked me. I was a generally cool person, I like to imagine. People just really liked me, and it felt weird, it felt different to not have people bullying me. And then, not just that, but also being able to stand up for myself and kind of have this self-confidence. Because in my old school, I never felt like I could have self-confidence. I just couldn't. I grew up with a lot of these people. A lot of these people knew that I was a deeply insecure person. Whether I made it apparent or not, they could just read my body language because, you know, other people pick up on tiny, subtle things like that. So this fresh start allowed me to present myself as a very different person, a very confident person, and I really enjoyed my time there. But over time, I actually grew to kind of realize that maybe I'm a little bit more introverted. I was so desperate to connect with people, so desperate to be quote-quote popular, that when I finally did become relatively popular, a lot of the social interaction was incredibly overwhelming. And I don't think it's because I just wasn't used to it, because it did extend over the course of years and years of me being in this high school. It was a consistent issue where basically I would ghost people during weekends because I was like, nope, no, I need this weekend to myself. I didn't go to proms or anything because it was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we're not in school anymore. I'm gonna use this time to recharge my social batteries. Like, you guys can all do whatever you want. Like, I was notoriously difficult to get a hold of in high school. Outside of school. In fact, actually, I became quite gifted at coming up with excuses for why I couldn't see people. It was pretty funny. Like, you know, when I was in school, I was very bubbly, I was very talkative with people, but then outside of school, I needed that me time so that I could recharge my social batteries for the next day. And sadly, as the school years went on, it became very hard to talk to people. The stress, the constant need to be social started to catch up with me until, you know, the final year where I had a lot of angry outbursts and stuff. I was a very erratic person because it was just like I was socially exhausted. I was mentally exhausted. It was very hard to keep up with people and provide each individual friend their own social needs constantly. And I don't think it makes me a bad person. I don't think that's... because I love all of these people. I loved all of my friends, genuinely. I really cared about them, but not having that me time, that time where it was like, for a solid couple hours, nobody's talking to me, I don't need to talk to anybody, I can just nap, or I can vegetate and watch Netflix, or I can read or do my own thing and just cool down and not say a word. Like, I needed those moments, and I didn't really get them, and it kind of caught up with me eventually, which is kind of sad. But YouTube is kind of a weird situation. I'm bringing this back around to YouTube. A lot of those insecurities from my earlier childhood, they still follow me to this day, because we are all products of the environments that we grew up in, whether we like it or not. we all kind of get shaped by the environment that we were raised in, for better or for worse. And unfortunately for me, there are a lot of personal anxieties. Whenever I upload a video, there are a ton of parts in it's very hard for me to watch videos of, you know, over again, like older videos and stuff, because I just cringe so much. It's like, I hate the way I sound, I hate the way I talk, I hate the way that I over-enunciate things. I've noticed people in the comment section do say that the way I over-enunciate things is quite annoying, and I agree with you. I think it's incredibly obnoxious. Unfortunately, for some reason, it's the speech pattern that I have. I don't do it intentionally, this is just how I talk normally. Maybe that's part of why I was so good in drama. But, YouTubing is very weird for me because as a person who is incredibly self-conscious, who kind of grew up desperately trying to please other people, desperately trying to be noticed in a positive light by other people, when I wake up and I see people reaching out to me on Twitter saying that they really like my content, giving me suggestions for videos, or even asking for my own feedback on their own personal theories about Halo or whatever, it's surreal. Like, it's not disassociating. Like, I definitely process it, but it's almost like in the grand scheme of things, it's weird. It's really weird for me. Just to kind of, when I was talking to this friend at the gym, kind of where the story starts, I suddenly remembered how I used to be, feeling like I didn't have a lot of friends, not feeling very popular, like, you know what I mean, like in an unhealthy way, not in a weird competitive school environment kind of popular, just like in I need friends, I can't sustain friendships, and it was very unhealthy, and I was very aware of it, and to kind of get on Xbox and then be bombarded with messages of, hey, do you want to play this? Hey, I'm a big fan of your channel and stuff. And I say bombarded. It's not good. In fact, I really love it and I appreciate it. I like feeling a connection with my subscribers. Even when I don't respond to every single message sent to me, know that I'm always reading them. I am always reading them, and I'm always processing what you're saying, and I do always value each individual message sent to me, even if I can't respond in the immediate moment. It's kind of weird to be looked up to, because for the longest time I spent my life looking up at other people that I aspired to be, because I wasn't happy with the person that I was. So it's just this weird situation when I ran into my friend at the gym, and it was kind of like putting everything into context where I am, like that disassociating I mentioned. I don't think that's what it is, but it's almost like, bam, it hit me all at once. Like, oh my god. If only that kid who was in the hospital with stitches in his arm, feeling like the world was ending or that he was ending, like, if only that kid knew where he would be eventually. It's just weird. It's hard to process right now, and not in a bad way. Definitely this is positive. I'm feeling a lot of kind of mixed emotions, but definitely none of them are negative. You know, obviously there are some parts of me that, like I said, you know, we're all born from the environments we were raised in. There are definitely some parts of me that feel like this is definitely unearned. I should not have this kind of success on YouTube. This kind of subscriber base, people who really value my opinions, but I also understand, you know, that's probably just, that's just the child part of my brain that's still clinging on to those insecurities. I don't know, just, I really appreciate all of you, and I appreciate the opportunity that you guys gave me to let me experience this. I never thought like, 64,000 subscribers is where I'm at right now, and this isn't like a bragging thing, not at all, actually. It's, I like to imagine if I was, like drama class, if I was up on stage in front of 64,000 people, who subscribed, whether it was for, like, hate-related reasons, they just wanted to downvote everything that I upload, or subscribe because they genuinely do appreciate some of the content that I make. It's an impossibly large number. It's a number I thought I would never see. And I am grateful to every single person for that. I don't know how I can ever repay you guys. This is just, like, it's just an incredible opportunity that you all gave me. And even, you know, YouTubers come and go, and eventually my time will go as well. You know, I'm not going to be on this website forever. Like, we've all seen kind of big YouTubers rise, and then over the course of a decade, they kind of become irrelevant on the website. And that definitely will be me one day within the Halo community. The Halo community will move on, new YouTubers will rise and take my place and other people's place, but these are memories that I will hold on to for the rest of my life. And I just want you guys to know that, you know, even though you all subscribe to me for my Halo content and, you know, other content now that I'm starting to branch out to other things, know that you've contributed to me behind the screen, me, Taras, the person. You've contributed to me in incredibly, indescribably positive ways. And that's something that I don't ever think that's something I could never ever forget. And I just, you know, thank you. Thank you to everybody who subscribed to me. Thank you to everybody who shares my videos, likes them, and stuff. And here's to a great future.